Good afternoon, Georgetown. It is a beautiful day today, blue sky. We've got a lot of volunteers helping spread bark today. We're grateful for that. And it's another opportunity for Eric and I to give you the latest in Georgetown's life. Take it, Eric.
So one of the main initiatives we've been working on lately is the Feeding Guatemala initiative. And I want to thank you already for the good response that we've had to that initiative. So far, we have 676 bags of food donated, and that's really excellent. You can keep track of our progress and also learn more about how you can give if you go to georgetowncrc.org/feedguat. And I'll ask our technician here to put the link in the description of the video too. So each bag of food is a nice bag of food that's going to help just help the cause of people in Guatemala who are suffering the conditions of the virus too.
And this initiative goes on for one more week.
Yeah, one more week.
Next week we will launch a new one that will last 2 weeks. That will be Feeding America, our next 2-week initiative. Speaking of Feeding America, we want to celebrate heroic volunteerism last night. We had 59 families that we assisted. It was a great turnout of volunteers, a great turnout of people. This church has people who are donating subs to people, sub sandwiches to people who are driving through our drive-through and receiving food. So it was another great success. Our next Feeding America distribution is next week, Tuesday, so please make a note of that. And also, we have decided to make additional Feeding America distributions available. If you're marking your calendars, note that on June 9 and June 16 are the ones that we're offering in June. On July 14 and July 21 are the dates that we're offering in the month of July. So if you keep track of Georgetown's life together, we know here as staff and those who are highly invested in Feeding America that this always happens the third Tuesday of every month. The rotation that Juliana is setting up for us now is the second and the third Tuesday. So if that's an easier way to remember rather than dates. Eric.
A couple more things happening in the life of Georgetown. On May 31st, we're going to have a graduate recognition time during our morning video time. I encourage you to submit information about your graduates if you haven't done so. Otherwise, you're going to hear from me. I'm going to be pursuing you and on your case to give me some graduate information. But we want to honor and recognize our graduates, especially in a time that's kind of odd for that. Also, Sunday night, I'm inviting all the youth group kids to have a Zoom conversation with us. We'll have we'll chat, we'll have some trivia, we'll pray together at the end, just a way to connect with the youth group. So those are a couple more things we're working on.
The last thing that we can think of, besides lots of noise and activity behind us right now, is the classes and the neighboring churches that surround us continue to talk about the question of, so how long is this going to last? And there's so many different opinions and so many strong viewpoints one way or another. Just know that our classes and our church and our staff continue to talk about what does it look like after we are able to start gathering. Those are things that lots of people agree on, that adjustments need to be made. On behalf of our classes this past week, I finally reached out to the chief epidemiologist of Ottawa County and that office just to say there's a spectrum of churches right now that are thinking about when might it be okay to reopen, and opened up a channel with them. And they want to express the strong message that, like the governor, they are not taking a position on communities of faith. They don't want to tell communities of faith what they can do, but what they want to do is encourage us, those of us in the classes and in this church who have said, we want to play ball with the health department and the regulations, and we want to cooperate. To which they respond to us, we thank you and all of your agencies for the ways in which you are trying to cooperate with our guidelines, and they observe with us that the numbers in Ottawa County, both of confirmed cases and probable cases, continues to be on the rise. And you can find that on their website that they update every day at 2 p.m. But we think it's going to be a bit of time yet. In the governor's 6 phases of reopening Michigan, the local health department finds us between phase 2 or 3, and schools and other agencies are encouraged to being able to meet face-to-face when we get to stage 5 or phase 5. So just know right now, we continue to talk about it. Our council is going to be talking about it. But know that we're not talking about this alone. We are engaging other congregations, classes, and also health department officials to say, what's best? What's best for the community around us? What can we do to be part of the remedy, the solution? And I'm reminded again, as some of us come to this building regularly, that the church is not a building. Eric and I were raised in families that said, let's go to church.
Yeah.
And that meant go to a building. But our parents also taught us that the church is not about the building, it's about the people. So here is our opportunity to remind ourselves and to remind one another that the church is the people. And when you and I enact mission together, when we are good neighbors, when we distribute food far away and near, when we help one another, when we care and love for our neighbor, and not just the youngest and the oldest and the most vulnerable, but all ages, I think we are faithfully being the body of Christ, and we're trying to find our way through that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm so appreciative of the ways where people are exhibiting and showing graciousness and patience with people. And I think as we think about matters of importance, it's going to be a lot about the process and how we care for each other and show understanding and graciousness wherever we can.
Good words. Brothers and sisters, the peace of Christ to you.